Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. So something recently happened that never happened to me before. Full disclosure on my channel. So my channel is about 4 years old. I recently just hit 2,000 subscribers. Really grateful. Thanks so much. And sometimes it's not just about the quantity, but it's the quality. I am really lucky that I seem to have a pretty dedicated group. I see, the same people over and over again giving me great comments, and I write back, and they write amongst themselves as well. Created this little community, which was always my goal. I have, if you don't know me and you're new to my channel, so I have been buying, collecting, and cataloging physical media records initially, and then CDs and other media since 1973. Had my own fanzine, writing about and analyzing rock and roll really since 1973 when I was very young. This channel is about my opinion. It's not better than yours, but certainly it is my opinion about my deep knowledge and passion about artists that I love and collect and know really well. Everything in my collection I buy. I've never been in the music industry. I was never getting freebies or anything like that. So it really is honest, and it's honest for my opinion. And why I'm telling you this is I never want that to change, and it never will change. But I never want my viewers, my dedicated group that watch my channel, to ever think that I'm compromising, because I never will, and I hope you believe that. So with full disclosure, something recently happened that blew me away. I'm really excited about it. I mean, in a way, it's kind of a compliment. It kind of humbled me. I got a box from Schiffer Publishing. I didn't ask for this. And they recently sent me this box, and there are 3 books in there, big books, and you're going to see them. I'm going to go through them. And they sent them to me, I guess, because they know I'm a really big Who fan. These are mostly Who books. And I've talked about Who books that I've read, and I love the Who, and they felt that I would be interested in this, and I certainly am. So thank you, Schiffer Publishing, but I'm not sucking up to you, because I will always only give an honest assessment. Luckily, I think these books are pretty damn impressive, and I'm going to show them to you. But I just want you, my viewers who've been following my channel and subscribe, please know that I will always be honest. And if somebody does send me something, listen, I'm not so great that I won't take it. I may not keep it, but I'm always willing to give it a shot, if it's something I like. But I'm not in this, I don't make money from this channel. This is about expressing my passion, and so thank you. Now, Schiffer Publishing I actually knew, because funnily enough, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago or 4 years ago, something like that, I bought a really beautiful hardcover book of the Atlanta Rhythm section. I like the Atlanta Rhythm section. I had never seen a book on them, and I heard that they had a book, and I ordered it from them, and I bought it, and it was an awesome book. I didn't keep it. I probably should have, but it wasn't the kind of book that I needed to keep after I read it. I only keep a small fraction of the books, but I have hundreds of books, but I've read a lot more than that. So I'm familiar with them to a certain extent. Anyway, they sent me these books. So they sent me review copies of 3 books, and I'm going to show you them. Let's start with this one. This is interesting. 2 of them are on the Who. They're amazing books, so hang out. It's worth your wait. They sent me this one as a smaller book. Now, all the books are written by Edoardo Genzolini. I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm not familiar with him. But this guy is hardcore, you're going to see, and he does something really interesting. Now, I am not the world's biggest fan of Cream. I have their albums, and of course, Eric Clapton. I tend to listen to Cream mostly when I'm listening to a Clapton anthology, compilation type of album. I just don't go to them that much, and I really got to be in a mood to hear their extended jamming. But anyway, this is an interesting book. It's not that big. It's a hardcover book. It's got a list price, it looks like, of $24.99, but it's really well done. It's actually 3-dimensional. And what's interesting about this, and you're going to see with the Who, it covers a very, very specific time period. This whole book on Cream covers San Francisco, February to March of 1968. Playing, I believe, well, we're going to take a look. They're playing at the Fillmore West and the Winterland, the legendary venue. The book is beautiful. Again, I'm not trying to suck up to these guys, but let me show you. This is a much smaller book than the Who books. It's got a dedication. Really glossy stock. You can see that contents, and you got tons of pictures. My taste tends to be, I like seeing pictures, but it's not the kind of thing that I'm totally into. I'm more into the information and facts. But it is cool to see, previously unreleased pictures. This whole book, you get an introduction, and there's Clapton with the big afro type thing going. But it's interesting, there's some really cool pictures. If you're into pictures, these are beautiful. Eric playing Harvey Mandel's Tobacco Les Paul freaking out at the film, a reproduction of, reviews. Standing at the Crossroads, 1968. Great pictures right there outside San Francisco. So he is covering a very small time frame of Cream playing at the Fillmore and the Winterland. These recordings are very important recordings if you're a fan of Cream, because they have two live records, as you know, Live Cream Volume 1 and Volume 2, and then, of course, the classic Wheels of Fire, which is half studio. There it is, Wheels of Fire. So he gets really involved in the performances, set lists. There's the Fillmore on that date, and the set lists that were played. And, what happened to these recordings? Some got lost, some were used on the live albums, which came, years and years later, three or so years later. Lots of pictures, some sharp, some a little bit blurry, but definitely all new pictures. And then he goes into the Winterland performance on March 9th. Again, there's the first set and the second set, really going deep involved. These are the kind of books that I like and keep. And I'm not necessarily talking about Cream. I'm talking about in general. And you're going to see this especially on the Who book. So there's the second set for March 10th. This guy really did his, either he's a huge fan, but he's going deep. And that's the kind of stuff that I really like. Focusing just on a couple of concerts, Cream playing at the Fillmore West and the Winterland Ballroom. It's held around 5,000 people, legendary venue in San Francisco. Really well done book. So if you're a big fan of Clapton, Jack Bruce, Ginger Baker, and Cream, might be something you want to check out. So that's Edoardo Genzolini. Now, he wrote all three of these books. I want to kind of tell you something about me. So I recently did a video on the Rolling Stones books that I still have in my archives. I think there was like 80-something books there, which is only probably a quarter of the books that I've read on the Stones. And somebody had commented, and they said, well, you didn't comment on this book, Old Gods, whatever that, Never Age, or whatever that was. And I said, I'm done with those. How many times can I read what I call a general history book? I've done them. I've read them. I don't need to hear the same story about how the Rolling Stones formed over and over again. I know it, So when I get books on the Rolling Stones, I've read so many books on the Stones. I've read so many books on The Who, and I've read so many books on Jethro Tull. I love reading about Tull. Those are probably the bands that I've read the most books on. But the point being is I never need to read another book on the general history of The Who, nor on the Stones. So like recently I had gotten this book, which I bought direct from an author because it's unpublished, Stones Tour Book 72. Why am I telling you this? This is not Schiffer. I'm just showing you this is the kind of books that I'm interested in now. They focus on a really tight period. And if you want to learn more, there's a full review of this book on my channel. Here's another book that had come out, The New Barbarians. Focus just on the New Barbarians, a Ron Wood, Keith Richards thing from 1979. This is what I like, a tight, really in-depth story on a tight period of time within a book. A band. And that's what Schiffer Publishing apparently is doing. And the next two books on The Who that they sent me is perfect for that. So just like that book on Cream focuses on San Francisco, Winterland, and Fillmore West in 1968, that's exactly what this book is. The Who at Winterland, 1968 and 1976 Teenage Wasteland. Again, by Edoardo Genzolini. This is one hell of a book. You can see how thick it is. It's hardcover. It's full glossy. It's got a price of $45. These are available. You can see them on Amazon. I don't get paid. I'm not getting a commission pushing this. It's nothing like that. They sent me this. I got it for free. It's the first time I ever got anything for free, so I'm excited and grateful. But again, let's judge this on what the book is. So there's the cover, and they even sent me like a bookmark, which is nice. And again, this whole book focuses on two basically time periods, 1968 and 1976, when the Who played at the Winterland, which is really interesting. 1968, you're talking around the Who Sell Out, one of my favorite Who albums. This book is just loaded. Now, this book goes into it a little bit more because it leads up to it. It talks about the Who in 1967. What was that? Well, that's when the Who played Monterey, and at least in America, they were not such a big band yet, and so it leads up to it. Here's 1967, and it shows you San Francisco, Haight-Ashbury. I had been there. It talks about the Fillmore, internal documents, amazing photos, and this book is just really, really well done. Edoardo, I hope I pronounced your name right. You are really something. I don't know where you got these photos from, but it's not just photos. You can see this book's got a lot of copy in it. It's really involved. It's got diaries. It is just so well done. And then it goes into Live at the Fillmore in 1968. So again, they're going to be releasing Who Sell Out. And then it goes to the Winterland in 1968. Talks about set lists. Let's look at the set list. 1968 is around Who Sell Out, but they're only playing Tattoo and Relax from Sell Out. And then you got like Run, 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 Don't Look Away. Interesting stuff, It's really cool. The Who's still not, it's pre-Tommy. So at least in America, they're not like a huge, huge band, but they made a really big impact, obviously, at Monterey, between them and Hendrix, who could smash more. Now, they play in Winterland. Winterland, legendary venue in San Francisco at that time, seats a little over 5,000. You may know it from some Grateful Dead films. You may know it from The Last Waltz. That's where the band did The Last Waltz. Legendary venue. And bands that were really big would still play there. Stones played Winterland in 1972. They could have played stadiums, but it just had that kind of vibe. Bill Graham running the Winterland, and he did the Fillmore as well. So this is, 68, The Who, great photos. Roger Daltrey looking like he did in 68. Just really in depth, talking about the set list. Here's the second set. This is really deep. And this is the kind of books that I like now, as opposed to, I don't need to read another book on The Who. But I don't know much about The Who at Winterland in 68 and 76. This is new information, and that's just really cool. Then it goes into the Winterland, 1968. Again, the set list. It's really interesting. Then we can skip ahead and look at the bands that, the set list. What a time. Bill Graham was famous for this. Cannonball Adderley's quintet is playing with The Who. He's a jazz guy. He was just a genius, Bill Graham, at mixing it up. And it was a different time where the audience could handle different type bands. There's pictures of, live recordings from that time. Then it flows to 1976, where The Who's going to play Winterland. 1976, that's like when The Who played those places in those festivals, Who Put the Boot In, in England. They're playing in front of 50, 60, 70, 80,000 people, a huge band. 76, you're talking Who by numbers. But they're still going to play Winterland because Winterland just had that kind of vibe, even though it only held, give or take, 5,000 people. There's slides from the Winterland show. This guy really did his homework. There's a set list. So let's see. Set list from 76. What are they playing from? Squeezebox, Dreaming from the Waist. That comes from Who by Numbers. That's it. Still playing a bunch of Tommy stuff. So this is just like real. There's a great, the outside sign of Winterland right there. Steve Gibbons' band was opening up for The Who. That was at that time. This book also does go in between from 68 to 76. It does cover briefly like 73, the Quadrophenia tour. just outstanding pictures. But more importantly than the pictures, you get every little detail about these shows. And my hat's off to you, Edoardo, because, man, this is great for somebody who's a big Who fan. Somebody who's not a big Who fan, they'd be like, I don't really care about the Who at Winterland in 68, 76. But it's interesting, especially in 76. They're one of the biggest bands in the world, and they're going to play a 5,000-seater. Why? Well, it tells you why. So, phenomenal book. Now, they sent me another book, too, on the Who. It's even bigger than that one. You may have seen this one. This one came out previously to that. And that was this one, also by Edoardo Genzolini. And this is the Who Concert Memories from the Class of Years 64 to 76. This is even bigger, hardcover. That one's got a list price of $59.99. I'm sure you can get it less, at Amazon now. And this is a cool book as well. And I've seen other ones. I know there's a Jethro Tull book that came out that's similar to this, where it's the whole history of the band from 64 to 76, but instead of another dry history, somebody writing about it or telling you, no, it's all from the fans' perspective in a really big way. And this book will go to, it's content that's sent in from fans, from their diaries, photographs that they took at gigs, and them writing it. Starting from 64, which is really cool, because how many people were fans back in 64 when they were first starting out? Well, I was only born in 63. 67, and it talks about the albums and the songs that were out and the hits and the stuff that wasn't hits. And you get, amazingly, photographs taken by the fans. You're not going to see these pictures anywhere else. Somebody getting a piece of a guitar that was smashed, and what their experience was like. So this is a totally different way of creating a history of a band from the perspective of the fans who were not only there, they're not lying because they're including their photographs, they're including their diaries and the set lists. I mean, that's really cool. Bootleg tapes, really a really neat thing. And I know there's books like this that are out about other bands as well. It seems to be kind of a new way to approach, and I like it. I think it's a really cool idea. But I don't think I've seen a book as nice as this that does that format. There's the Fillmore East. Oh, the Who, can you see that? The Who, Led Zeppelin, Chuck Berry, Booker T, the Youngbloods, Albert King, Sly and the Family Stone, all on that one billboard. Isn't that cool? So I totally like this kind of stuff. And the fact that this publishing company is putting their money behind it, and really, it's all here. They are not holding back. This is amazing. I mean, my arm is breaking right now holding this book for you guys because this thing is heavy as hell. Woodstock and Monterey, and there's the Fillmore. And in fact, these shows are in there as well. Get my video channel up there, right? These shows are in there as well. And this is Prime Who, so here's 71, Who's Next. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So 1972, 73, that's a favorite because Quadrophenia is my favorite Who album. And who was the opening band in 73? The Quadrophenia tour was Leonard Skinner. So that's really cool. Great photographs. Cow Palace, San Francisco. Tony Palmer, legendary music journalist. So you got famous people writing, you got mostly non-famous people, The Day on the Green in San Francisco. This is quite the book. Oh, that was heavy. So I got these books for free. Please don't be upset with me. And I'm telling you how great they are. But not because they gave it to me for free. You could see with your own eyes that these are really amazing pieces of work from Schiffer Publishing. So at the least I could do is let you guys know. And if it's something you like, by all means, you could pick it up. But I'm not getting any piece of it, so don't worry. It's not like I'm trying to push it. Open, honest music journalism for me. But thank you so much for sending that to me, Edoardo Genzolini. You are something else, man. These are like life's work, like that guy who did the Stones book, Erwin Hodges, who has nothing to do with these. But I'm just saying, like, this is this guy's life's work. I can't imagine how much work went into this. Is just one tour, and it's the same with this. I mean, how much work went into every nuance of the Who at Winterland in '68 and '76, or getting all this from fans and putting it together. Gargantuan work. So, I hope these books sold well. I was not familiar with them, to be honest with you, though. I think I had heard about this one. This I've never seen. This is new, and that I've never seen. So it's new to me. So I thought I would bring it to your attention. As always, I appreciate your loyalty to watch my channel and your kindness. You're always nice to me and professional, even if we don't see eye to eye. Communication is a wonderful thing. It's all music, is all opinion. There's really no right or wrong. We like what we like. But I could just point you in the direction of things that I like, and hopefully you will too. And I think I really like these books. So there you go. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. I appreciate you watching me. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe, help it to grow. I just hit 2,000 subscribers. Took 4 years, so hard work on my end too. But thanks so much again. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next time on the Alan Rosenberg Show.